Okay, welcome guys to the Dank Tank Podcast. I'm your co-host Adam, joined by.
Your other co-host, Tommaso.
Your other co-host Victor,
Your other co-host Jeff.
and welcome to episode 2 of our podcast. If you haven't already watched episode 1, we do recommend you watch it because we explain what this podcast is about and what we will be presenting throughout all episodes.
We also reflected on what we can improve, and we tried to do the best we could to make sure that these small mistakes, like probably editing or audio mistakes, won't happen again. Okay, let's get to the first story. Adam?
Alright, first story is kind of on the darker side, maybe on the more serious side, but it's gonna be well balanced. We have some funny stories for you. Well, the first story comes from Jimmy Savile. And for those that might say Jimmy Savile's dead, well, yes, but unfortunately, the Labour Party has assigned a new leader. This leader, well, name is Keir Starmer. I'm butchering that name probably very badly, but just some background on this person, he was the CPS head of CPS back in the day. If you don't know what that is, that's the Crown Prosecution Service. And why is Jimmy Savile even remotely connected to this? Well, pretty good question, because in 2009, when Jimmy Savile was accused of pedophilia, he was interviewed and under caution by police in Surrey and Sussex. Subsequently, the police referred 4 cases to the CPS alleging that Jimmy Savile had abused 3 girls under the age of 16. So, CPS eventually, after receiving the files from the police, all the evidence they need, they refused to prosecute Savile and dropped the case because there was, they quote, insufficient evidence. Okay. Now, keep that in mind that so there was tons of evidence from the start. There was no doubt that Jimmy Savile had abused these girls, and my condolences goes out to those people. Now, just look at this. We have a person that is covering up for one of the biggest scandals in British media over the past decade, and now he's and now he's the leader of the Labour Party. Now, what's your guys' take on this?
Interesting. Politics.
Yes. I mean, it's definitely a big game turn for Labour Party. I must admit, I think they are trying their best right now. Get people to not vote for them. I think they're doing a pretty good job at it right now as well.
I must agree.
Well, it's just they do have background. I mean, they have background records. There's no way that this could have slipped past them. There's no way that they couldn't have seen this. Okay, they knew about this. They know about this, and then they still managed to do this. They still go for it.
Well,
Well, I
yeah,
think we
that's
should
the best way to hide a criminal.
I think this is what we should expect from them, because they've gone through so much, so much PR nightmares in the past 2 years that it's incredible. Their last head rejected the definition of anti-Semitic because the general news public started calling him an anti-Semite, and so he rejected the definition given by the EU by it. I mean,
Nice.
so not only now that Labour has become a communist party that hates Israel, now they also love people that cover up for child predators. And I have an image here that represents Labour really nicely right now.
Guys,
Dun-dun.
just a quick note. Do
beautiful.
not encourage any political party. We're very neutral at the moment because, yeah.
Yes.
We are not supporting anything. We're not against anything. We're just pointing out evidence and news towards a party. That's all.
Since Article 13 is still not applied in Europe, we can say whatever we want for now, and we can criticize whoever we want, which we will do.
Exactly.
With a lot of fun.
Yeah, hopefully. Alright. Any other guys' takes on this?
Yeah, I'll do it. So PR-wise, this is horrible. Like, the people knew this was a predator, as they would say. And,
I'll have to censor that. I'll actually have to censor that, Jeff.
and yeah, I don't think this was the very best idea, because if you already have a reputation of hating Jews and being very communist, which is not really the best thing in the UK since they were allies with America during the Cold War, I mean, it's not gonna help the party. And I believe that if you want your party to grow, you need a good PR, so public relations for those who don't know what that is. And you also need to make sure that the people can trust your party. And if your party is like hiring people like that who molested children with like a lot of evidence,
Obviously, it's pretty trustworthy, isn't it?
Absolutely, 100%. But
They're building the best possible image to not
their
get
logic
voted.
their logic is so flawed with everything they do. It's the same reason, the same arguments they use against not liking Israel. They say that Israel, we believe Israel is a terrorist state, and that's why we don't support it. But then you turn around and they see that they support Hamas. Do you guys know what Article 7 of the Hamas Charter says?
Go on, enlighten us.
This is quoting from the Hamas Charter, Article 7. The day of judgment will not come about until Muslims fight Jews and kill them. Then the Jews will hide behind rocks and trees, and then the rocks and trees will cry out, "Oh Muslim, there is a Jew hiding behind me, come and kill him." We might have to censor this, but this is I am not I am not kidding. This is legitimate, and this is what Labor supports.
I have one thing to say. I have one small tiny note to say. There goes our monetization.
Yeah, there goes our monetization. That's true. We never had it, but we've already lost it.
Yes. I won't censor that because it's kind of vital to the news. But
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's not the nicest thing to say out loud, but I
yeah,
mean,
it's
true. And
It's true.
it's just
it's
quoting.
public knowledge. You can Google this. It's nothing hidden. It's
Yeah.
Alright, I think that's
Okay.
enough sad topic. Trying to make a sad topic funny. How about we move on to some of your guys' news you found? And-
Alright. I think I'll go next. So I have some interesting news on young folk of age 93 that was in need, like in really desperate need of drinks at her house. Here, in fact, I think I can better sum it up in an image for you. So this woman right here.
These are goals. This is what I want to be when I'm 93 years old.
Her name is Olive Veronesi. I'm not sure if I butchered that or not. She needed more supplies, as she called it, during the coronavirus lockdown, and decided to literally do what she did in this picture, and she posted it on Facebook, and it went viral.
And now she has many crates of beer.
So do be sure to support her. Clearly, she needs it a lot. As you can see by her desperate face, this woman, she's in need of beer, and I think the only thing we can do now is just pray that people are gonna deliver to her.
Hopefully they will.
This is why we have things like Postmates or Uber Eats.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, she's a 93-year-old lady. I'm not surprised that she doesn't know about this. But let's just say this is goals. I want to be this happy during a pandemic when I'm 93.
That is true. That
She
you
has
have to
achieved
you have
everything
to
in life at this point.
you have to admire that she's keeping this positive, even
She is the definition of what I want to grow up.
even when her age group is literally the one of most danger right now. She's keeping happy. She's keeping humor, and
She's keeping a light mood for everybody.
And
She's cheering people up.
she's getting hella viral as well.
you can't really give your opinion on this. This is
Yeah.
just
I think-
This is
goals.
just something cool.
I think this is something wholesome. I think this is something to lighten up the mood after the last news.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess we can go to the next news. I mean, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants? Jeff, you wanna take the next news?
Sure. So my story is about a very known legend in Scotland. So there's a lake in Scotland called the Loch Ness, and a specific myth has gone on like over there. So the local folks say that there is a monster in the lake that is hidden,
Hold up,
and
hold up.
they call it the what?
Hold up. Are you telling me you're reporting on the Loch Ness monster?
Yes.
Okay,
But-
go ahead. I've lost all faith.
No, but it's like one of the main tourist attractions in the region, I believe, because everybody knows the tale of the monster that lives there, and there have been approximately like 1,100 confirmed cases of the sighting, but the monster has never been found, even though there were a lot of expeditions. Until like today, well, not today, but the 16th of April, when a veteran monster hunter took these pictures. I'm gonna post them in the chat so you guys can see it. And as you can see, there is a little thing that is stuck out of the water. And
Jeff,
um,
I'm
yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but are we becoming Infowars all of a sudden? Like,
No.
I love Infowars and all, but Jeff, I'm colorblind and I have no idea what you're pointing at in this picture.
Okay,
Yeah.
do you see the red circle? Do you see the red circle or the
Yes,
circle?
I see nothing except water.
Now I'll be honest with you here, Adam.
Yeah, it's vague evidence.
It is
But,
literally about 3 pixels on the screen. So if you can't see it, I'm not surprised.
But the guy, he like apparently knows a lot about the monster, and even the like place where they keep track of the amount of confirmed cases mentioned that it's confirmed. So that means that it can be the monster, but of course I'm not sure because it's never like really confirmed. Yeah.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
We went from serious news to conspiracy theories real quick. I thought it'd take at least 5 episodes.
Look, man, all I'm gonna say right now is, I mean, this is a pretty obvious thought here. If the Loch Ness did exist, where in the world could it hide? Where in the world could it disappear to in
The
order
lake
to
is
avoid?
big. I'm telling you.
Yeah, the lake is
No, but
extremely big. And
also, I've
it's
heard
very,
that the lake has an exit.
yeah, and it's also a quite a dirty lake, I believe. So it makes it difficult for divers and like submarines to see actual things. And I personally believe that there is something in there. Maybe it's not like a dinosaur-ish animal, but it has to be because the reports date back to like 500 AD. So something's got to be wrong with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, damn, I can't see anything, but you know, that's my disability.
No, just
No,
you
trust.
can give your opinion.
I mean, if it's, I think it's really coincidental that the waters are very, very like dirty, and that increases the chance of this being true because there's no way of actually exploring the depths of this lake. Probably, maybe we don't know. Maybe this was some large fish or something. We don't know, but there's a large chance. But
There's a large chance there's something unknown living down there. It might not be the Loch Ness monster, but a new species maybe.
Whatever it is, I have a question. Since the water is so dirty, what do they feed on?
It's not
Other
dirty.
fish.
It's just really bad visibility. It's not like there's trash in it. It's just like naturally barely visibly.
Okay, and
It's like
there are fish
really muddy
sources.
water.
and also, is that sweet water, right? Like
Yeah. It's not the like sea.
Salt water.
salt water. Yeah. Okay. Thought so. Hmm.
all right,
Okay.
next.
Okay,
Next news.
I got internet news for boomer reaction. Let me just send you this this picture, and guys will see if it uploads.
I'm scared
Because
because you said boomer, so it's about to go controversial. What's happening here?
Oh, great.
Okay,
Let's watch
right now when you see this picture, you think there's one guy talking to his friends, right?
No, that's
No,
not a
it looks-
microphone.
It looks cut up really bad.
Well, this is actually the same guy who took an editing software and uploaded a video to TikTok pretending that he had his friends over.
Oh,
But
so he
actually,
pasted it.
Oh
he
no.
just copy pasted himself over and
Oh
over
my
again.
god, it's the same person.
What a
Yes.
legend.
It's the same. I see it now.
I mean, that's a good cutting job, I guess. Unless he's just using different layers.
No, I can see the cutting, my guy. This cutting
Can
is
you?
very visible, especially on the white shirt in the middle. You can see on his shoulders, the cutting is kind of dodgy. But
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 what if he used
yes.
what if he used multiple layers of him? He just took different pictures and he just layered them on top of each
yeah,
other.
that also
No,
works.
because it's a video. It's a constant video.
Oh, then that's very good.
So
I
it
think.
is. So it is different layers just recorded from the same camera angle.
Could,
Probably. But
could be.
the best thing is, there are people out there that don't know editing software can do this.
Oh
And
wow.
so imagine in this moment of coronavirus, how much people were raging and getting mad at him for not respecting the rules and having his friends over. Yes.
Ah,
Troll for boomers.
It's
yeah,
a really good way to prank people. And
definitely.
Like, what would people really
But I
do
feel-
in
but I
these
feel like-
things? They
I
won't really see it. They won't really do anything.
I feel like at a time like this, it's kind of not a good idea to troll people and prank people like this. But you know, Mad Dad still did it. It's a damn good job.
To cheer it up, but to cheer people up, but yes, boomers.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. If we're finished with that, I have one more thing to discuss, and it's actually about a vicar that accidentally set his arm on fire while recording a virtual sermon.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Damn.
very interesting. In fact, here I'll even. I mean, I don't really have picture evidence of it because it's a video that won't load up. But I can tell you right now that the vicar was left red-faced after accidentally setting his arm on fire while recording a virtual sermon. And his name is
I mean, sermon.
yeah, Stephen Beach was performing the service online as people across the UK stay at home to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. And he basically, he's the vicar of St. Gosh, I'm gonna butcher this. Boodocks Parish Church in Plymouth. And he basically set his jumper on fire when he leaned over towards the candle, kind of, yeah, towards the candles.
Is he,
And,
See,
is he
normally,
right now?
normally you have to Google to see things like this. Nah, this pastor will do it for free online.
yeah, and
That's what you call full service treatment right there.
so
The church is trying to become more popular again. So.
yeah, news on him, like if he's alright, is he wasn't actually burned, he wasn't harmed at all. He simply said as soon as he caught fire, "Oh dear, I just caught fire," and that's it. That's literally it.
Nice.
That's all he said. If you guys would like to watch the video, I'm gonna put a YouTube link of it here. But that's your choice.
Maybe we can put it in the description because I don't think they're gonna just look at this link.
Yeah,
and just put it in
obviously.
the bio.
Well,
Put it in the
this link will be description of the Vicar Fruit on fire. Anything else?
Alright.
Anybody got any other news?
Closing? No, not really. Any closing remarks?
All right.
yeah, I have this picture of some weird weird news that I found. And
Okay.
it's basically a dog who stole the fake teeth of his owner.
Oh no.
Of her or her.
No, no smile dog, please. I left creepypastas long time ago. Oh my god, it's the smile dog remade. Oh no, I'm gonna put a side-by-side
I'm going that
comparison.
this picture is gold.
I'm gonna literally put a side-by-side comparison of Smile Dog and that dog. In case you don't know what Smile Dog is, it's a creepypasta. It's a scary story of a dog that looks absolutely terrifying, and it it looks wrong. Here, I'm gonna send you a picture right now. This is what the Smile Dog is, and I think these two can compare pretty nicely.
Jesus Christ, that's creepy.
Yeah. Them two could be related very easily.
They are way too similar.
Okay. I think it
no,
comes
no.
for viewers.
The bottom one, it looks like it's an actual creepypasta. The top one looks like the dog just stole his owner's dentures.
Yeah, true, but still, bottom one is a creepypasta after all. Anyway,
Okay, I think that was everything for today. I want to thank all of you in the name of everybody here for watching or listening. Whatever you did, it doesn't matter.
As long as you didn't
Make
have us
sure you
muted.
check out the other episodes, and yeah, we'll see you in the next podcast.
Alright?
Yeah. All right. See you guys.
Alright,
Ciao.
goodbye.
See you, everybody.